I usually try not to be overtly political. That doesn't mean that I'm not a political human being or that I don't care about politics. I think you know that I do. I think you also know that in general, it is my deeply held belief that my politics, my business. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. I'm still your rabbi. I appreciate you and your perspective, and I'm always open to conversation, discussion, and even argument respectfully. Um, this week, as the Supreme Court document was leaked with, it looks like a move towards overthrowing the precedent of Roe versus Wade, I want to share with you something that, yes, ends up being political, but is also a really Jewish sentiment, especially a Reform Jewish sentiment. So I want to begin by reading a statement by the CCAR, the Central Conference of American Rabbis, an organization to which I belong and to which our congregation owes a lot of support and respect, and has done a lot for us as a congregation, especially when it comes to questions of hiring and clergy and all of that sort of thing. And so this is the statement that the president of the CCAR, Rabbi Louis Camrus, put out. It says, the Central Conference of American Rabbis is deeply disturbed by what appears to be the decision of a majority of justices of the United States Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. Though we are aware that the leaked draft by Justice Samuel Alito in Dobbs v. Jackson, Women's Health, is a draft at this point, cause for concern is real, given the views not only of Justice Alito, but also of Justices Thomas, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett, and at least to a degree of Chief Justice Roberts. If it were to become a Supreme Court decision, the leaked draft would lead to the severe restriction or elimination of abortion rights in about half of the United States states. The CCAR proudly participated in an amicus curiae brief submitted to the Supreme Court in support of the respondent Jackson Women's Health and of reproductive freedom. Until the final moment of a Supreme Court decision, Reform rabbis will continue to advocate for the preservation of Roe v. Wade. If, indeed, a decision similar to the leaked draft is the court's decision, CCAR rabbis will continue to oppose state laws that restrict abortion rights. The CCAR will support its members who are in need of abortion care, wherever they live, just as Reform rabbis will be present for members of communities they serve and for all Americans in need of abortion care, again, wherever they live. Abortion access is part of comprehensive health care. Overturning Roe v. Wade will not stop abortions. What it will do is increase the occurrence of illegal, dangerous abortions, thereby causing unnecessary deaths and suffering. We know that low-income women and all gender non-conforming individuals who can become pregnant will suffer the greatest burden of state abortion bans triggered by a reversal of Roe v. Wade. Moreover, the decision apparently contemplated by a Supreme Court majority would violate the religious freedom of Jews and others whose religious traditions, like ours, permit abortion. The CCAR, its members, and communities will not rest in our ongoing struggle for reproductive liberty, working with the National Council of Jewish Women, Jews of other movements, women's and LGBTQ advocacy groups, interfaith partners, and all Americans who join this work for individual bodily autonomy. The Central Conference of American Rabbis, in the strongest terms, urges the Supreme Court not to restrict abortion rights and certainly not to reverse the groundbreaking and liberating decision in Roe v. Wade. If, however, the leaked opinion is in fact a harbinger of Supreme Court decisions soon to come, CCIR rabbis will grieve, and then, without delay, we will act. And that's signed by Rabbi Louis Camrus, who's the president of the CCAR, and Rabbi Hera E. Person, the chief executive of the CCAR. Now, from our perspective, the question is really Judaism is pro reproductive rights. That's an interesting statement, and I want to share with you that yes, access to abortion is a Jewish value and essential health care. From the Torah to the Talmud to Maimonides or Rambam, there is profound support within Jewish sacred texts and scholarly teachings to the right to abortions and for prioritizing the life and well-being of the living woman over the rights of the fetus. And incidentally, Judaism also has some clear notions about when life begins, and it is not at conception. And the Jewish community overwhelmingly agrees with the need to protect abortion access. Polls show that 80 to 90% of Jewish Americans believe that abortion should be legal in most or all cases. Um, it's interesting, some of the arguments that I have seen against the so-called pro-life movement have to do with the fact that pro-lifers appear to support rights for the fetus, but not children after they're born. And I want to point out that one of the reasons that that may be the case, and one of the things that we should take into consideration, is that for many people, what's more important is the baptism of the fetus that will turn into a child rather than the actual life of the child, so that that fetus, that potential life, can be saved from damnation. As Jews, this is not a concept that we share. We don't believe in that. And for them to foist their religious perspective upon us is really a violation of our constitutional rights. So I wanted to put that out there. Okay, Rabbi, so what are we doing? A, midterm elections are coming up. Please, 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 if you can, vote. It is more important than ever that you vote, that you make your voice heard. Get in touch with your senators, your congresspeople, your representatives. Please, again, your voice is important. And third, but not finally, we at BHSS are working on putting together a bus. We're going to leave in the wee hours in the morning. We're talking like 4:30 a.m. to go to Washington, D.C. for the Jewish Rally for Abortion Justice. That's May 17th, 2022. It is a Tuesday. And if you can, take that day and make it a day to rally with other Jews in support of abortion rights, of reproductive rights. Please join us. Like I said, we'll be leaving about 4:30 in the morning, and our expected return time is about 4 p.m. Those times are not set in stone yet, as we are working on getting our buses together. There will be a fee. I have to tell you, if it is a fee that is too hard for you to pay, talk to me. I will make sure that you can go if it is important for you to be there. Um, we're going to go together. We're going to make our voices heard. Rallies don't change policy, but they show us that we are not alone, and they show the significance of an issue to us. And so if you're interested in going, if you have a friend who is interested in going, whether they're part of the congregation or not, please send me an email or get in touch with me so that I know how many people to expect. And we together will fight this for the rights of everyone who should have bodily autonomy. Thank you.